Hi, I'm Kumar. In this unit, I would like to introduce Sauce Labs. Well, before getting into much details about Sauce Labs, first I will make you to watch the promo video from Sauce Labs.
Your apps are great because your testing's great. You test on all the platforms that matter to your users. You run tests in parallel. Test suites finish quickly. You test in the cloud without the hassle of maintaining infrastructure, VM licenses, multiple browsers, or mobile devices. You debug early, scale effortlessly, and spend less time fighting your build so you can deploy rapidly? Oh, sorry, I forgot something. Your apps are great because your testing's great with Sauce Labs. You test on all the platforms that matter to your users. You run tests in parallel. Test suites finish quickly. You test in the cloud without the hassle of maintaining infrastructure, VM licenses, multiple browsers, or mobile devices. You debug early, scale effortlessly, and spend less time fighting your build so you can deploy rapidly. Test, debug, release, repeat. Shortened dev cycles, rapid deployment, and reliable performance. Your apps are great, your testing should be too. Sign up for a free trial today at saucelabs.com.
Alright, that's an awesome video, isn't it? With that video, I hope you might have got an idea like what is Sauce Labs and what they will provide. Yes, you are right. Sauce Labs is a platform which provides a cloud service infrastructure for running Selenium tests for both mobile and web applications, including Appium. Well, why I need to know about Sauce Labs and what is the advantage I will get from this provider? Well, before getting into much details, first let us start discussing with a problem. Let us take a scenario like you have some 500 bunch of Selenium scripts where your objective is the cross-browser testing of your web application. For this, what you will be doing is you need to execute your Selenium scripts or you need to test your web application against multiple browsers like Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, Opera, and Safari. But if you closely understand these browsers, there are few browsers which are vendor specific. For example, if you take the Internet Explorer, it is a Microsoft operating system specific. You cannot access the IE browser on the Mac operating system. Similarly, if you take the Safari as a browser, which is Mac operating system as its vendor specific OS. Even though you can access the Safari browser on Windows, it is just limited to 5.0 version. So beyond that, you cannot access the Safari browser on any of the operating system. So keeping this in the mind, if you wanted to achieve a cross-browser testing, then you need to make sure you need to have or you need to maintain all these kind of operating systems along with the respective browsers. That means you will end up in maintaining with Windows, Mac, Linux, etc. And at the same time, you need to install all the respective browsers like IE, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, etc. So not only this, you need to maintain the different versions of the browser. On the same computer, you cannot install two versions of Firefox or two versions of IE or whatever the browser it may be. So for that, what you will be doing? In order to maintain 5 different versions of Firefox, then you will go with 5 different virtual machines or 5 different physical machines. Then you will install 5 different flavors of the respective browser. Don't you think it is becoming more complex for you to maintain such kind of infrastructure? Let us take another scenario. If your client expands the coverage, the test coverage to the mobile devices as well. That means now whatever the Selenium scripts you are planning to run against the web browsers on the desktop machines, the same scripts you need to make sure they are doing good on the mobile devices. Then your coverage will expand to the iOS devices or it may be an Android device where the Chrome will be on Android and the Safari will be on the iOS as a major browsers. Then again you need to maintain the different versions of the mobile devices with the different versions of the operating systems, at the same time the different versions of the browsers in it. So this kind of maintaining such kind of physical infrastructure is not an easy job. And on top of it, it is not a one-time job. The reason why I'm saying it's not a one-time job, even though you set up a very big infrastructure of all the types of operating systems with all the varieties of the versions of the browsers, including the mobile devices, but still you need to make sure that everything is up to date according to the current industry standards. That means today it is 9.0, tomorrow it may be 9.1, or day after tomorrow it might be 10.0. So you need to keep on updating your iOS mobile operating systems, at the same time Android operating system. And not only about the software, think about the hardware also. Day before yesterday it is iPhone 5, and yesterday it is iPhone 6, and today it is iPhone 6 Plus, and tomorrow it may be iPhone 7. That means you need to concentrate, you need to invest more on these hardware and software in order to maintain such kind of test environment. So this is 100% not possible for the small scale and the mid scale industries or the organizations, but it may be possible for the big enterprises and the organizations. But again, in the long run, they might also face some kind of challenges in terms of the investing the money on maintaining both softwares and the hardwares in order to enable such kind of test environment at their site. Solving all these complexities and answering to all these kind of complex questions. Now, most of the companies and enterprises started looking at someone who can maintain or who can invest in setting up such kind of test environment at their site, so that all these companies can utilize the infrastructure and can obtain their test coverage on the multiple operating systems, on the multiple browsers, including desktops and the mobile devices. That's how the Source Labs into the picture. So Source Labs is a platform which enables the cloud service infrastructure with a variety of the virtual machines, including the mobile emulators and the mobile real devices, which enables us to execute our Selenium test for both web applications and the mobile applications. Similarly, as I said, Source Labs is a service provider which maintains all such kind of infrastructures. If your requirement is to test the application on the desktop browsers, on the tablets, on the mobile phones, with the different of operating systems, with the different combination of operating systems and the browsers, then you can do it on the Source Labs cloud services. Well, so far we have discussed about what are the services and what is the advantage or what kind of features is enabled from the Source Labs. But who is the Source Labs? Source Labs is a San Francisco based company, and they are very deep technical roots in the software development automation, security, and high performance infrastructure. Of course, as I said, Source Labs provides a cloud services for running your Selenium test, including both mobile and web application on the desktops. But how we are going to achieve this service on the Source Labs? It is not too tough to understand, and there is nothing like a rocket science involved here to understand the Source Labs infrastructure and to enable our scripts to execute on their cloud services. Alright, so far we understand, or so far we discussed what is Source Labs and what we can get from them. Everything looks pretty similar, but is it that so simple to execute our scripts on their cloud services or on their cloud environment? How much complexity is involved here, or how much rework will be involved in our current scripts if you wanted to enable the scripts to execute on the cloud environment? Well, it is not something like you need to modify the entire script or you need to tweak the current existing scripts in order to execute that on the Source Labs cloud environment. And on the other hand, it is not like you don't need to tweak anything. You can directly execute your current scripts on the Source Lab cloud services or the cloud environment. So the amount of rework or the amount of script tweaking is very, very minimal. But however, you need to tweak the script at the desired capabilities and at the remote server URL level. So the answer is very simple. If you wanted to execute the current Selenium scripts or the Appium scripts on the Source Lab cloud environment, then you need to tweak your script desired capabilities which are in align with the Source Lab's desired capabilities. Of course, both are same. And at the same time, you need to tweak the remote server URL of your current Selenium scripts. You need to get a username and an access key from the Source Labs account. With the help of those two things, you can connect to the Source Labs cloud environment, and then you can start talking to their servers, start talking to their virtual machines, to their mobile simulators or the emulators, at the same time the real devices. So this is a very simple process and very straightforward, but overall this is not a free service. You need to pay for this service, and Source Labs has a varieties of the packages. It depends upon the requirement of your virtual machines and how many scripts you have and how many hours you wanted to do the test automation. Keeping all these factors in mind, they are coming up with different pricing structures. Well, we will discuss more about how to work with Source Lab environment and how to tweak our scripts in order to achieve the cloud execution smoothly without any issues. For this unit, I would like to focus more on introducing the Source Labs and its services to you. That's all for this unit. Happy scripting. Thank you.